All right, let's see. I have a question. Because I'm watching through the archives, why did you remove the tape and power meters from your setup? Um, it's not that I removed them. It's just on this particular screen with these elements. This is all I can fit, and um, I primarily have those on as a teaching tool. I don't really need to see them because I can see that happening on the time and sales, depth and sales on my domes because I'm getting traded volume there. So if I have room for it, I put it up. But on the current moment, I don't. The screen's pretty full. So that's the answer. Good question. All right. So anyway, let's see what's going on over in oil real quick. I don't think I'm going to do anything with oil today. I was trading it earlier, but yeah. Um, I have three of the four indexes and oil's right here if you want to keep an eye on it. I don't have its dome up yet, but you know what? Actually, we should do that. Let's switch to oil mode, which looks like this. Put that guy up, and then we just need the fast LRC for it, which is here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so now we can see oil in its native environment, and we can watch the indexes too. So that's what we'll do for the upcoming. The CPI could be an interesting, exciting event, or it could be a total yawn. So really quickly, just before we get closer to it, let me just introduce the story. So basically, we're going to get the inflation month over month and year over year stuff, and that's going to come out, and the inflation rate that's going to come out at 5:30 my time in what about 10 minutes, and the reason this is important is because it kind of might impact the how fast they raise rates story. Inflation and those things are connected. Could affect oil prices. It could affect everything. On the other hand, it could come out and everyone could say, "Oh, okay, meh, we expected that." So basically, this is a price discovery event like all news events. If we get some sort of freako reaction, it might be interesting to fade it. And so with that in mind, I am going to put up my micros over here too. And again, I am running no brackets because I'm running a trade copier. So you will just see my orders go up when they're filled, and then I will put on my exit orders after that. It's a little bit different than when I run the brackets, so it'll look a little bit different. And let's see, let me make sure the MES one is turned on too. And yeah, okay. So basically, I've got the copiers on NQ, MES, and ES. And if we get price discovery, hell, if it's a great setup, I'll do it in ES, which will go across two different accounts. And if I do it in same thing in MES, but I'll decide what risk to take based on what's going on. Probably do it in MES because we're live and but I'm happy with the results of this so far. It's been actually quite. It exceeded expectations. So anyway, that's the story going to 5:30. Then once we get the number, if there's something going on, I'll stay with it. If there's nothing going on, I'm going to take a break, and then we'll reconvene at the oil open at 6, and go from there. So we're going to kind of be flexible based on what is going on in the markets. Oh, it is cool here this morning. I've got my fireplace on. So again, if you're just joining us, this is likely to be a price discovery event. And I may or may not trade it, but we'll talk about it when the inflation CPI numbers come out. Running my stairs to get my blood moving here. Funny, I have my fireplace running upstairs, so up here it's like really nice and warm, and down in my office I've got windows open and it's raining outside and it's 45 degrees. It's kind of a cool contrast. Wake up downstairs, relax, meditate upstairs. Also refilling water bottle. All right, we are ready to go now. We have about 7 minutes, I think, 6, 7 minutes. if this number is a big surprise in the wrong direction, we could get a wicked sell-off. That's totally in the cards. On the other hand, if it's a surprise in the other direction, and again, which direction is which, who knows? The reactions never make sense. You just have to go with them or let them play out. Anyway, so God, it's hard to imagine what would create a really wicked rally here. My sense of the market overall is that it's pushing up so that everybody can take profits going into rollover and expiration next week, what's next week. I think it's going to be really hard to get over call it 47.10. I think that's pretty much, maybe a holiday rally, but it's raining in LA. Yeah, stay off the freeway, Alfredo. You talking about LA as in Los Angeles or LA as in Louisiana or LA as in something else? Lots of Apsos.
Los Altos.
Yeah. Los Altos. So here's the TPO view. So, oops, that's the wrong TPO view. Hold on. I wanted to show you why. I just think that Los Angeles, Hollywood Hills. Okay, yeah, that's right. You've told me that. Yeah, rain in LA with the freeways, forget about it. Just stay the F away from the roads. The drivers are stupid to start with in LA. And when it gets wet, the first rains, it's like ice. Okay, so look at my TPO view here. I just don't see us breaking, up there. We just don't have the energy to do it. It could happen, but I think we're either going to be range bound or see some sort of short-term correction that might get bought. That could create the push up into the holidays. Who knows? But interesting situation. Oh, yeah, we had a really nice rainstorm the last few days, or started yesterday, and it's just been not a lot of volume, but just real nice rain. I've enjoyed it. My student that was here went back home to Delhi, India, and so I'm here by myself once again working on stuff. Anyway, so what time is it? It is 4 minutes. I may not trade much at all today, the whole day. I mean, I was trading this morning and have some good results from that. So I'm going to err on the side of sitting on my hands, which is always a good idea, but particularly today with rollover and the CPI number coming, right on rollover. It's a tricky time. The volume's low. It's split across multiple contracts, yada, yada, yada. Just be careful. It's not worth sticking your head out. It's a Friday. I think here's a really good point. The closing, I am doing the closing session today, and it should be a really good one. And next week should be even better with rollover, with expiration and witching in the morning. So we've got, a lot of good tradable action. It's not trending and all the trend guys are crying, the market's choppy. Yeah, right. This is some of the most profitable action you can get because it's risk manageable. You got to learn to think that way. Just looking at the book right now, it's getting thicker and thicker above the market. So that's interesting. People are saying, yeah, if it pops up here, I'll sell it. That's kind of, and we are at the top end of the range for the evening session. That makes some sense. That would be the case. Why is this RTY range look so small? That's screwed up. Must be a data glitch there. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, it's because of the rollover. That's right. Okay, duh. All right, so we're ready to go here. We'll see what we get. Obviously, I'll show you structure in a bit, but this trade has nothing to do with structure. So all you really want to pay attention to is, not even the current range matters. The only thing that matters is the extremes of the session right now. So the high and the other end down here, the low. If it gets to either of those places, it gets interesting. If it does that based on whatever the number that comes out is, then it's worth watching and maybe playing. But anywhere else, forget it. it will get too thin and be impossible to exit a good trade or very close to it. Wow, look at that little hello. I guess the market likes the number. So let's see. Do we want to fade this? No, not yet. It's too close to the top and sitting up there. But let's see. See if we can get a little push up to 00 or 95 or something else. Then maybe I'll try to fade it. But this is just too thin to fade. Definitely not going to buy it. But I will try to short it if anything, but not here. It needs to push the extreme a little bit, or whatever the reason that they like the number is. And I see the numbers came out, and again, the actual what the number is never matters. Okay, this is starting to feel like a better short here now. So let's see if we can play with a micro or two. If we get a pop up, it's like see liquidity there at 91. That's an interesting spot. He just moved up to 93. Yeah, we could get a 92.5 is an interesting spot to play if we get there. So far, this has some momentum, so I'm not going to fade it until it no longer has momentum. Definitely not going to go with it. Just so sweep susceptible to go long here, you'll get crushed. So it's a shorter, nothing, as I like to say. But JVC, what's the way you like me to say that? Not shorter.
If there's any trade here, it can only be, whatever the direction may be, something like that. Cat, excuse me, I need some tea.
Yeah. You have a hairball?
I have a small amphibian in my throat.
Hairball.
Wouldn't doubt it entirely.
Yeah. Okay, so this is looking interesting, but again, yeah, if I was gonna fade it, I'd try right in here somewhere. But again, it's sweep susceptible down. That's clear. I don't think it's sweep susceptible up at the moment here, but it also doesn't want to go down yet. So a pop up with a wick on it, I would definitely fade. You can see we've had a couple of them, but I just haven't been fast enough to fade them. Again, because I'm kind of leaning on not trading it, but could stick one right there, maybe. See if we get a fill up there if it pushes up. Basically, I'm sitting on Mr. Liquidity. I'm right in front of him. He's there. And we might just get a pop here. We could take that ledge out. The guys that are already short will get puked out. And look at that right there. That was a bi-directional move in NQ. That was a total of 40 ticks. In one swoop. It didn't go up and then down. It went up, down. And you just don't try to trade stuff like that. It's really fun to watch, though. You get a sense of how the auction works. See, if this ledge blows here, I could get filled and catch 40 ticks of profit instantly as it pulls back. So this is a low risk, good nothing to lose kind of extreme trade. If it blows through there, it's not going to, even if it really does it fast, again, it's a micro, so who cares? But it's not likely to blow through a spot like that. It's likely to pop up, fill me, come back, and then if it's going to blow through, it'll start going up again. So I should at least have an opportunity to get out of the way if I'm wrong. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway. And I'm not saying short this at any cost. I'm saying, this pre-market thin action, if I can catch one of these wicks, it will be fun. But, we could easily go up 40 more points here before. Okay. Oh, it almost got me. Come on. Oh, I missed by 2 more ticks. I'm going to grab it if I can. Oh, okay. We got it. All right. So we're short here from 90.50, and let's put a take profit there just for fun. See what happens. You can see my little trade copiers putting up alerts. That's fine. Oh, you want to just go for a point? We can do that. That's $5 in each. Let's Okay. And the next spot that's interesting is right there, just under 95. Remember the quarters. The quarters will be in play now. So it'll be, 90, 92 and a half. Oop, there's a little puke. They caught some shorts there. So I may be totally off sides here, but I don't mind being off sides with a couple of these because I think it will lose its energy after a bit. So, all right, so now we've got two, and let's see, let's put another target in there. Oh, just in case we have a big sweep down, maybe we can catch both of those down there. Anyway, again, I'm not too worried about, cash here because we're dealing with micros and this is fun. So it's risk management by using micros and giving it lots of room. And, obviously it's not asymmetric in terms of risk reward, but we are wicking up here, you can see. So this should work, or at least be fun to watch if it doesn't. So you know what, if I put them both at 95, 90 and a half, then we'd be out with what, about $15? So let's see, and that would be 30 across the two. Yeah, I'm just kind of having fun here. So I think we might get a better pop down, but we may not get to drop at all. This could just take off to the north, although there's not a lot of volume behind it. So, again, this isn't like a where am I wrong and where am I right. I'm really just having fun with micros. That's what I'm doing. So don't try this at home necessarily. The direction is definitely up. I mean, I'm fading a move up. I'm counter trending here. So please understand that. Okay, you know what? Here we go. Here they come. Okay, come give me some profits now, please. I'm going to take both these guys off at the same spot just to not take more risk here. So I think we could still go up some more. This is just, like I said, just fun. So we'll see if we can make, it'll be about $40 here if these two fill in the two accounts. Yeah, the bottom is this is gonna be two-way trading today. I can feel it. Yep, there's another puke. They caught those guys again. Now we need some sweeps down, or I'm probably a little bit off sides here. And again, because it's micros, I'm not gonna get totally concerned, but at some point I'll get out of the way if this keeps going. I'm not just gonna keep adding to it. That would be silly. Better to wait again. See, we got the wick and now we're going up again. So I could definitely be off sides here. Let's see. Does the cash market open with the March futures contact prices or December? The cash opens with cash. Remember, the cash market is just the index itself, Amy. I was asked that question, but at what price? At whatever it opens at. It's whatever, the SPX, the calculation of cash. Okay, this is starting to go a little bit aggressive here. And, I probably should have gone with it, which is, I love fading these things, but it's at the point now where it's over 95. Yeah, it's probably going to go up to 0, 0. So I'll probably get out of the way. Let's do that. And we'll start over when it actually reverses again. Again, that's why I'm doing that in micros, just playing with it and having fun. So let's see. God, I still want to fade this though. Maybe we'll just do it with a 1 here at 97 because it looks like 0, 0. How much are we up here? We're up 36 points. Yeah, no, this needs to go up some more. Meanwhile, let's have a look at, structure could be useful here. Get an idea I'm going to get rid of oil again. Okay, so yeah, no, it's not high, isn't too high yet. There's still UB up there, but there's zero prints all over the place. So this could be really fun two-way trading. I'm tempted to short it right there. Let's see if we can get it going the other way now. Well, so far, so good. Nope, another puke. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this one on and play with it a bit. So keep an eye on the footprint here. God, I wish Sierra would center properly. Damn it. Can never read the thing. It should be centering here, not up there. JVC, we need to start a concerted effort on their board to get that.
Good luck with that.
I mean, there's no logic to this at all. There's nothing that supports this.
Well, it's been added to their feature request list. So
yeah, really. Okay, this could be a little bit of exhaustion here, even though, God, I wish I could just even see the pullback. Okay, yeah, some selling there. You know what? Let's just make this 5 minutes. We don't need to see the whole footprint. Then we can at least see what's going on here. Okay, yeah, no price rejecting and still going up. So even though I'm profitable, it's not necessarily the top yet. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take another one. Now it's starting to look, well, it'll probably puke again, but it's starting to look like it's running out of gas. So now we could get a nice sweep down and make some money. You can see I'm short there from 96.25. It's obviously working. I don't want to protect it yet, but I'm going to use a target down here, I think. Let's see, that's quarter. Perfect. Let's get one off right there. Come on. Okay, now we got the other one. Maybe we can get a runner here. And remember, this is trade copying, so it's duplicating. So basically double everything. And yeah, I think this could be the beginning of the top. Let's take another one. So now I have two. And we'll take the first one off there on a test of 92.5. Oh, it's nice and two-way up here. There's sweeps down and there's a little bit of puking up. So this is definitely an inflection point and we can have some fun here. So if this one fills, I'll have one left from 95.25 and I'll just keep that one. See if we can move back. I mean, look at this. The VWAP and the bulge is all the way down here at 74. So again, I don't trade the VWAP, but you know, from a volume point of view, there's nothing going on up here. Let's get this one off profitably since we're boom. Okay, so now we got a point on that, and we're probably in good shape going down. But let's give it a little time and let it go. I don't see a big need to protect this either way right now. If it goes up a lot more, I'm going to add to it. I'm not looking for it to stop out. I can always hit flat if I need to stop out. Okay, there goes another ledge break. Now we can clean up this unfinished business maybe and add to this again. So short, maybe, God, 0.0 would be a really nice place to add a little more to this. It's still profitable, you can see over here. So because this is basically, I'm trading around a core short here. I'm adding to it on pushes up. Let's grab one more here. Ooh, couldn't get it. I'm in the right spot. Okay, we did get it. So now we're short two. Again, these are micros. I'm literally just playing. This is Jeff with his bag of quarters at the arcade, but it's adding up to a few $100 at a time, so that's okay with me. All right, 96.75. Let's take one off at 95.75, and then again, we'll just keep averaging into a good short and taking profits as it oscillates and adding as it pushes up. And I'll probably do this up through the open because it looks like it's going to be a good setup. I may ignore oil altogether. I apologize for those of you that are oil fanatics because this is just too much fun. So here we go. Come on, fill me, damn it. Ooh, I'm right on the right ranges because it's tapping my limit orders and not filling them. See, it just did that. Again, I missed by a tick. So I'm definitely on where the volume is and where the larger inflection points are. So this is a good trade to keep running. Get that one filled, and then we could be in a good shape for a drop down here into the air pocket with the other one that's left. I'm not really worried about it blowing the ledge up. It's welcome to do that. I will add to this, up to probably 5 of these. A half an ES would be, because that's a full ES with the trade copier. For those of you doing the math at home, deal or no deal? Yeah, the longer it does nothing quietly, the better this trade works because it's building a range up here, basically. So the longer I have, the more I can manage, the better I can manage risk. That should be obvious too, but sometimes it's not. Oh, it's just a tick away again. Okay, I'm going to get, if that goes 96 again, I'm going to try to take it because that's just teasing too much to not pay attention that needs to be. Okay, so now we're short from 98.75. So now we're in really good shape with our one lot and we can just let this puppy go. And now I will protect it. We'll lock in maybe 4 ticks there on the last one. And locked in 5. I'm going to make this tighter. It looks like it wants to go up again. So let's take profits. So that's another $50 right there between the two. Boy, and sweep down would be really nice, but it's not going to do it. Okay, cool. So we've got some money in the bank. That's cool. I can live with that. And now I'm going to just give it some time. Oh, I like this short still. Okay, so now we're short 96.5 again. I'm just seeing, the more I watch the tape, the more I like it short, but I think it could definitely puke up and give me better entries. Again, I'll definitely take 0 quarter, and probably even 2 up here. Probably take that too. There's my morning ritual reminder, and I already did my morning ritual. So, you know what? Let's just play the odds here. So, odds are we can definitely get that. And then if it goes lower than that, it would be a gift. Let's not try to get gifts. Let's just pick up some money. There we go. Okay, come on, come on, come on. I'm going to take that one and try to get short up higher too. Okay, that's a good spot where that one is. This one. Okay, here we go. This will probably fill here, I'm thinking. Yep. And boom. Okay. God, this is literally picking up $20 bills. It's like walking along the road. Oh, there's a $20 bill. I think I'll pick that up. Oh, there's another $20 bill. I think. And then, once we get into the session, we'll pick up $50 and $100 bills. But this is just too much fun. I'm going to sell 95 again. We got it. And let's sell 97.5. We've got a quarter and we've got 2.5. Okay, that's a good spot. We have one short. I'm going to let this one ride. It could definitely hit an air pocket down to test maybe 85, 87 from last night. Heidi's favorite area. I see Heidi is here. She'll know what I'm talking about. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to just leave that puppy and let it ride a bit. I'm not saying we're not likely to go up more, but I just don't see the energy developing here where we just go up and just keep going up and it's just this is a reaction to whatever was in the report and it's getting priced in now. So now you can see, look at my LRC. See, they all flattened out. So this is the sweet spot right here. I'm going to go ahead and throw another one on there at the market. So now we're short 2 from 94 quarter. We'll add to it if it pushes up. But this is at least going to flatten out here, and there's probably going to be a little bit of a move down. So let's take profits on one of them, maybe right there, and then we can let the other one go if it does. And again, I'm just working the range so that I don't get totally offsides one way or the other. That's what you don't want to do. You want to keep, if you're going to do this technique where you're, core short and I'm trading around it, you want to take profits, leave yourself a position, but you want to be fairly aggressive taking profits because it's possible to get caught the wrong way and you can end up scaled into the trade the wrong end. But this looks like it's working perfectly. I mean, every push up is a great spot to add. So, we've got a nice profit here. This round, I'm now short from 93.75. Jigsaw continually recalculates the average as you add and take them off. I know Lee doesn't like that. I like it that way. It gives me an idea of the profit of the trade. And if I want to just start over, I can just flatten the trade out and put a new one on anytime I want. And I find that to be a useful way to do it. So, all right, we're getting a little bit of buying here. So we still have that one. I definitely want that one. This one probably won't fill, and that one probably won't, but I definitely have some good spots staked out here. So if we get any crazy pukes up, I can scale into them. And again, I don't see this just blowing the roof off the market today, at least not until RTH opens, if it's going to do it. I don't see it doing it at all. So I'm not feeling like, I could really end up offsides here. I might get a little bit offsides if it pushed and broke the 00 number, but I would be scaled into it right about at that average. So, again, this is a profitable technique. As long as you understand the conditions, and now that we're in ebb and flow, I'm perfect. I'm in perfect shape because I'm profitable even at my average here, and any move up will add to it. And I'm still profitable, and I'm still better than break even. So this is the perfect way to work this kind of action. And hopefully we'll get a sweep down going here, and I might add to it if it does. But otherwise, I'll just leave this one lot on and see if we can move back down into the 80s, at which point I'll probably take it off. Like that might not be a bad spot to take it off right there. But, again, it depends on whether I'm trying to get flat before the open or get flat or not worry about getting flat. And, again, you can argue that a bunch of different ways. So, yeah, there's a little more buying. So, Where are we? 93.75. Let's not be too aggressive. So if it gets down there and fills in this low volume area, let's go ahead and flatten her out again. Can always jump in if the bottom falls out. Okay, I am going, ooh, look at that. We had a dual direction sweep again. This market really wants to play with people's minds. So whenever I see that, my first reaction is, okay, be very nimble. You want to be nimble. So we might even want to take this one off here at 92.25. Let's do that. Even if the bottom drops out, we've got a nice profitable trade here. So we can let it work. I'm not certain we're going to go all the way down into the range at this moment. So, okay. Oh, every time I put a limit order in, it like trades that price. And I just want to exit here one tick above that average, and the profit's way up here, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, that'll fill. Now that's better. Okay. So we'll leave that one there and see if we can fill this one, which is what I'm trying to do. Trying to just get the average up again. So we'll do this with up to 5 micros, I think. Maybe it's, oh, cool. We got a sweep. All right. That's what we wanted. We got the down sweep. All right. I'm now flat, and I want it to push up a little bit to get short again. I'm going to move this one to right there, and I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be back, and I don't know. If I end up off sides, hit my flat button for me, will you?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, and Amy's saying the December contract is sitting at 4,700. Yeah, I went ahead and rolled, but I am watching on another screen the December. And yeah, this action is shortable action. I just don't see the roof getting blown off of this. But, again, I'm going to cancel that one. That's the one I really want. I want to re-short this bulge. And you can see, so does Mr. Liquidity. So we're right in front of him. We'll see if we can get up there. I'll be right back. I need more coffee. This is going to be a great session, guys. Fasten your seatbelts. And also, I will tell you right now, real quickly, let's see, JVC, I'm going to, I might move over to my oil. Oh, oil's really boring this morning. Ugh, not interested in that at all. All right, here's what we'll do. I'm going to go ahead and just do my thing. And if you would like at 6, JVC, I doubt anything in the indexes will be happening. If you want to just show oil for, the first couple of minutes, cool. All right. So watch oil, and you can see why I think it's kind of boring, although there's some zero prints down here. This looks interesting. So the one on the left is the full session, and then 30-minute, and then my 15-second scalper. This is my default view for all my instruments. On the indexes, I just have it combined. Back here, real quickly, you can see on the indexes, I just have it like that. So I have all 4 of the sessions and all 4 of the 15 seconds. That's my latest workspace. Anyway, all right, I'll leave this here. I'm going to get coffee. Flatten me out, guys. If I get filled and the market goes to like 4,800, hit my flat button. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, oil is up, and away this morning. Wow. Well, I would certainly have to, at the moment, be leaning long. Not like I would be making a decision 5 minutes ahead of time, but that's the immediate lean. But I would like it much better if there were UB up at the top. We do have a lack of a price rejector, which is cool. Why is it not a price rejector? Oh, okay. So it's only not a price rejector because of the lack of opposing aggression. So it could become one pretty easily. What's overhead? Anything? Yeah. Okay. We got some old zero prints, and I think Jeff was mentioning that. And actually, something like that. I don't put massive stock on those or anything. I just profile or on my dome rather, so that I can just generally know in the last week, where has most of the volume been? And that's it. That's the only piece of information I get from that. It's just, up there. There's been a lot of volume in the past. Okay. In the recent past.
All right. I'm back. What did I miss?
Nothing at all, at least not in oil. I'm not watching the indexes, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm going to switch back to the indexes too, I think. So everyone just basically, we're just FYI here. There will not, well, let's do this. I'll leave this here. And if we get an oil set up, right at the open, like, well, got it. Overnight's right there. We're right here. Yeah, we could go take the overnight high out or whatever.
Yep.
What's the
That's
other
where
end
I'm
look like?
leaning.
Yeah, that's all right. So if we'll watch for that trade and see if we can see that trade, and I'll trade over on my other screen if we get it, and then we'll go back to the indexes right after that. So that's our plan, and we're sticking to it. So I have set up without the trade copier. Oil is trading over on my other screen, so I will let you know if I take it or not. There's a huge air pocket down here. They're right below us, all the way down to 75. And that concerns me a lot. So I don't know if I would buy this right away. I get oil can just So this is the air pocket I'm talking about. There's just really thin, and there's these zero prints. So getting long could be risky. You see that, JVC, right?
Sorry, I'm not looking at your screen. What are you pointing to?
I was just saying that there's zero prints right below us, and it's
Yes.
a big air pocket. So even though long is the idea to break the overnight, it could easily.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it now. I'd wait.
Exactly. If it dropped down to say 71, 60, 65, that
those
would
zero
be
prints.
that would be an interesting spot to nibble long right there.
Yep.
And to go back up and get the overnight high.
Yeah, this is if it weren't 2 minutes, 3 minutes before opening, that's like a possible zero print front run, throw a limit order right ahead of those or whatever. But I would not want to do that with the open looming. It could just go crazy for a bit and blow right through it.
And also understand, oil is already up 2%. It's one of those where when it's already here's all the markets. This is a volume equivolume chart from Thinkorswim. Oil is this one over here, and it's in a decent uptrend, and it just had a big burst. So again, you want to be careful because the air pocket is right there underneath it. So the indexes actually you can see the short trade setting up there potentially, but you can also see why it's a dangerous spot to do it, because it could, easily hold that big high volume push up that we got from the announcement. So that's why I like these. And this is that proprietary trending indicator that I've talked about a few times. I modified, someone else wrote it. If you download my shared Thinkorswims, you get it for free. I can't protect it. It's like what you were saying about your spreadsheet, JVC. I can share that, and there's no way to protect it. That was one of the problems with Thinkorswim. Okay, it's moving up again here on the indexes. We're back up at 93.5. So my first order is at 97, which is basically a front run of the 97.5 quarter, and that's also a high volume node. If you're here, let me bring up my index real quick on this screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have a short order right there on that high volume node at 97 to catch 97.5. Although, again, this does not look like it's necessarily done going up, but it's certainly less than it looks better than it did a few minutes ago. Let's put it that way. So we'll see. All right. Hang on. What's this doing? That is that's a really sloppy 30 minutes there. All right. So oil, let's go back to oil in case we're going to do it. There it is. Yeah. So this is a fun setup actually now. If it can fill those zero prints and stay right down there in that area, I might just grab a long in oil, because again, your risk protection's decent right there. I mean, if it's going to go into the next air pocket, you'd probably see that coming. But it's oil, so it could go to 65 in a heartbeat if it decided it wanted to. Okay, so my coffee. Duh. I turned it on and I forgot to go get it. That's why I'm making coffee. All righty.
And we're open.
Okay, and what's happening? Nothing.
Not going down.
It's not going down.
Oh, there it goes. It's trying. Nope. I'm going to stop in long if it pushes up higher. There we go.
Are you in?
I am long 71.19.
Cool. Yeah, I think you'll probably get the break of the overnight there at 72.3.
That's what I'm
But you are
looking for.
vulnerable. You know that. I know you know
Yes.
that.
Yes.
You're vulnerable to a sweep down here.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it rotates down, past the open, that's it. It absolutely no, wrong. Or past the price. If the price rejector at the bottom breaks, if that breaks down at all, then yeah, totally out of the way.
Yeah. You want to watch.
I don't love this, but the high being right there, I think that the overwhelming probability is that it's going to push it.
Or it goes down and then does it. That oil likes to push it like that.
Yep, it does.
Trade
right now,
and there
it goes.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, so you got some ticks there anyway. Just got it.
Yep.
Okay.
And
one more tick. There it goes.
Boom.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
still
your exit
in
right there. You're still in.
I'm trailing right behind. I'm a couple ticks up. There's a couple more. Okay, boom, I'm out.
Okay.
Great. Got 11 ticks out of that, so I'll take it.
All right, that was a nice little trade. All right, so that's the end of oil. We're done with oil for the day. We can get rid of it. I'm going to go. Let's see. Let's just stay here. We can look at the day structure. I'm going to close my oil dome. I don't want to even think about oil today. There's just too much opportunity in the other spaces. Low-hanging fruit.
No reason to make it more difficult than it already is.
Oh, and the indexes are it's just so much more information, because you have 4 of them. And, if you're wrong and they're all screaming at you, it's, the correlation really is helpful when you learn how to read it. And I can't emphasize that enough. New people don't listen well enough when we say that to how important that is.
By the way, just a quick reminder, you are still on your portrait screen.
I know. I was hoping these would be a little easier to read, but what we can do here is I'll just blow one of them up and we can, so this is ES, this is just a session, and you can see we're trading. Oh yeah. It's in the range of the pullback right now. We're building a high volume node up there. We've been doing this ever since the CPI number. So, this is interesting. I still like shorts up there. I still have those orders. When we get back to my domes, you'll see it. I've got them sitting in the micros, but I won't leave them there past the open. So that's what's going on there. The rest of them are, look similar. So what we will do is, so you can see I still have those orders over there on my dome. We're not anywhere near there. So maybe that one will fill if we get lucky. And I have this on 5 minutes just to be able to see a little better because the 30 was so crazy. Now let's see if the 30 is readable. Here it should be. Yeah, now the 30 is nice and readable. We can see real clean top up there, although not necessarily as high. For a news-related top, that's a good clean top. And we're sitting just above the range that it blew up from. So this is a nice spot. You can see, this was the old range. We got the news. We blew up. We're in ebb and flow up here. And that's perfect. So let's just see what it does. I mean, I'll be very happy if any of these fill or all of them fill. But other than that, I'm not going to do anything till the open. I'm going to let it drift in. So, this would just be a gift if that one filled. It would probably do it on a sweep or something. So. And like I said, the odds on the other ones are absurd. In fact, might not even be worth staying in line. Let's see, 32 up there. Yeah. This one's 29 out of 33 in line. That's not a bad spot. That might improve. 38. That one's in a good spot because Mr. Liquidity is there and I'm in front of him. So that isn't a bad spot. So we'll just leave it. That's the story. Nothing else is worth putting too much brain power on right now. And again, all 4 of the indexes literally look identical. That's the value of correlation right there. It's instead of one piece of information, I have 4 of them, and that is better, particularly when they don't agree. When they agree, it doesn't tell you anything. It's not new information. When they don't agree, that's informative. And we've talked about that over and over again. Okay, so other than that, the volume is, it's decent considering it's rollover and there's some volume in the other side. So let's go. Let's put this guy back up and we can watch the structure as it plays out. So you can see that first 97 is like right here. So it's right above that area that was an old emoji cell area, so there'd been supply there. And then we kind of blew through it on this news announcement. And now we're right back down and we're kind of trying to price rejector here at 94. So This will be very, very interesting to kind of let it play out and see if we get an opportunity, or if we get filled up there. Again, that's just getting the extreme again. So I have no, why not? It'll work or it won't pretty quickly. So anyway, tempted to stick another one like right there at the high, but the problem with that is it'll probably blow the high if it gets that high. So that one is better. You can see there's some liquidity at 00 there too, which you'd expect. Again, just a reminder, the format is just this, kind of presence of mind of whoever happens to be trading that day, which is our new format. But in my sessions, if nothing else is happening, certainly I'm happy to do Q&A and do a little more teaching stuff than just doing nothing. So if you have any questions you want to ask, stick them in the chat. I'll be happy to talk to them. We open in about 24 minutes. So this is probably going to be pretty quiet until then, but it'll be nice if we catch that guy. That's about the only thing I would try to do here. We're not going down. We're ebbing and flowing and holding the high. That's interesting. You can't read anything into that other than, it was rejected just above here and not aggressively. So, we're kind of finding value here given the economic release this morning. But that doesn't mean that this will be value when we open. Obviously, that's kind of the bet here when you fade these things before the open, is that if it was going to go higher, it would have already. And that's kind of an older way of thinking. The newer way of thinking is, yeah, that's probably true, but because it was up here, we can probably see the bigger traders push it more at the open, and then there'll be a sweet short opportunity. So that's kind of why I'm not anxious to get on that side of it right here, even though it's on the south side of the high volume bulge and it's behaving like a short. I don't want to be short here. I mean, it could be a wicked great drop through this high volume or low volume node. And again, VWAP is down at 77. So, there's lots of volume below us. But again, we're not going down yet. If we start going down more aggressively, I might go ahead and fade this here, and I might do it right here, actually. Let's try. I took 93 short just because I liked that action. Let's see if we can get some traction down. Here we go. See? I guess I got that one right. Okay, now I like shorting the bounces even more. As long as we don't go up aggressively, I think this is a good play until the open. And if it goes up aggressively, I'm actually going to add to it because I like that bulge right there. You can see I'm trying to add another one if we tap it. 94.25. I'm short here 93 profitably. Current trade's 92. This is again being trade copied, so we're not doing one micro here. We're doing a few of them at a time every time I do it. So Amy's saying serious short squeeze potential. Absolutely, which is why I have those orders up there to get squeezed into before the open. Once the open starts, I'm going to reset my brain because we could get different conditions. But for the moment, the pre-open, yeah, I'd love to see a short squeeze while those guys were buying to cover, I'd be selling. That'd be perfect. Good morning, Jeff. As a professional trader, what time of the year would you and others swing size around? Well, normally people trade more aggressively, in the fall. That's the sweet spot the right now. But there's been days the volume has been really low. We've had some good high volume lately too, but I think everything lately is just not normal. There's just there's no typical anymore, or at least not for a while. So I'm just going with whatever's been happening recently. God, I'm so tempted to put another short on here. I just did. Oh gosh, I didn't fill, and we got 4 more ticks. So that's that. I tried to hit the current trade, and I didn't get it. But maybe a push up here, I'll get filled on it. That was when I saw that coming, and I just I should have done a market order. But then with market order this time of day, I could have got swept into it too. So. Gosh, Again, when that happens, the takeaway should be you're seeing the action perfectly. I mean, I literally hit that, and then a beat later, it went down 4 ticks, and I didn't get filled, but I was right on the right spot. And the reason that it's forming another high volume node right there, and we're below it, so it keeps getting pushed down. I think this market wants to go down. That's been my thesis here. So we've got one short. Let's see if we can add to it on any kind of strength here. So let's try putting it there right on the ask. If that doesn't fill, then I'm definitely in the right spot. Okay, it's tapping me. Come on, can you give me a fill there? Okay, now we got 2. That's a little better. So we're 2 right on the quarter. Perfect. Let's take the first one off there. Again, I'm trading short, scalping around a core short. That is my thesis until the open. I will flatten this out before the open because I don't want to have a position on a day like this. Like Amy said correctly, we could easily blow up to 47.10 at the open, and then that's the short. But there's no reason to predict the future here, particularly when this is profitably working. I'm just picking off ticks over and over again, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let's put the first one here. I forgot I had 2, so try to add into this guy. That's not in a great spot. It's not a bad spot. It's a high volume node there. That's a spot that's better if we get up there. So what do we want to do? Let's put that there. Okay, my proprietary trend indicator just rolled flat. So we now have, on the 5-minute, we literally have no trend. And that's using RWI as the methodology, which is the random walk indicator. It's a very, very good way to measure a trend if you must measure trends. And again, I just use it as a contextual, like all of my stuff like that. I don't trade off of it. Here, I'll show you real quickly what it looks like right now while we're waiting. So you can see there's ES, and it just had a strong trend, and it's about to, you can see negatives coming up, positives coming down. That's what a trend ending looks like if you're using a tool like this. It's weighting the past against the current action. That's how. RWI, there's a good explanation of how RWI works if you're interested on the Investor RT site here. I'm trying to get you the link. RWI Investor RT. There it is. So this is a really good explanation of it. I'll stick it in the chat for those of you that are interested in what the fuck I'm talking about. Oops, let's see. I sent that to Tony. Tony probably wants it, but everybody else should see it too. Okay, now I think everyone can see it. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. That's called RWI, and that's when I used to, before order flow, that was one of the tools I used a lot. But okay, you know what? We're not going to play there. We're not going to play there. We're starting to get to the open. This is profitable. We might just want to take it off. Let's see if because we're getting a little too close to the open. I want to be flat here pretty soon. So let's see if we can catch the next push down. We're starting to get toward the middle of the volume profile, which kind of puts the other end of the volume profile in play. So this might be a good one to get out of the way in case we're going to get a short squeeze. I think that could happen, so I'm going to do that. Take that guy off, and I think that's the end of how would I say my bias defined at the moment. No, Pete, that doesn't define my bias at the moment. It has nothing to do with my bias. It's way too slow for bias. It's just a context filter. My bias is watching the DOM right here or watching the action, on a 15-second view. That's how I get my bias, because my bias is right now, RFN, right fracking now. All right, we are no longer going to play micros here. They're not worth the energy in regular trading hours. So we've been playing around a little bit here and made a little bit of money, gave a little bit back on the end, but I'll take that for a morning. And let's get ready for the open. I am SOH, sitting on my hands until I see if we get a short squeeze. So, one of the things I like to do this time of day, how did I build that context filter? Pete's asking me. Pete, if you look at the LensSoft, it will tell you the math behind it. I've shared this in templates. If you have Thinkorswim platform, just take the template I have and you will have my code. But beyond that, I do not support it or answer any questions about it. It's 15-year-old trend measurement indicator that I wrote with another guy, and it is nothing more than context. And again, it's really important that you understand that everything but the price right now for me is context. So structure is context, like looking at this here is context. The session is context, the internals, the advanced decline, those are all context. There is not that they all have the same level of weight with me. They just give me an idea what's going on in the big picture, but my focus trading is always on what is happening RFN right now. Critical that you get that right. It's any one thing in the context world is never very useful. You want to have a variety of contextual markers. All right. I really like a short on a push up at the open. So what I started to say before that was, in my head, what I always do right before the open is I run scenarios. I've said this a bunch of times. So today's scenarios are, I would love a short squeeze that, teases 00 or gets to 10, 47.10. I would be shorting every piece of that with every fiber of my being. I am already short the triple ETFs, by the way. I took profits on the longs and rolled over to short yesterday. And I'm going to start scaling into that on any move up. Because again, I think we'll get a holiday rally, but I just don't see the energy that's going to push this market up. And, there's so much supply up in the 47.10 area. So, if it gets up there and goes through it, we'll all know it. And in the meantime, that's my thesis. Now, the other possibility is we open down, or we start to go down at the open, and I might just join that. That's a short I really like right here. I mean, I've been playing it for the last 45 minutes, but the danger is the short squeeze. And, if this air pocket was going to go, it probably would have gone already, or it'll probably go right at the open and I might miss it. And that's a beautiful air pocket. I mean, look at this high volume node up here. And then all the way down here is where the rest of the volume is. And there's virtually nothing in the middle. There's a little bulge here at 87.5. So this is just a beautiful setup for lots of great trading action today. So let's just go with it. What the fuck? All right. So Pete, did I answer your question? If you want to learn about those things, the best way is to put up Thinkorswim and grab that set of templates that I shared, because that's got everything I do. Like, here's my internals one right here. I look at up volume, down volume. I look at the advanced decline, and I look at the tick and a cumulative tick. And again, that's another proprietary indicator. And then giving it away, you just need Thinkorswim. Accumulating the tick is a way of determining the energy of the day. So the tick goes back and forth. It's the total. If you take everything going up and everything going down and net it out, that's the tick. But if you accumulate the tick over time, you can see weakness in a day, like yesterday. Look at that. It was really clear that was going to sell off. And during, any one look at the tick would have been, well, I have no idea, but that gives you an idea. So that's how I use these things for context. That's what I mean when I say they're contextual filters. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question or makes it helpful. That's the extent that I can do for that stuff. That Lin link that I posted, that actually gives you the exact math if you wanted to build a trend tool like that. It's literally the formula is right there. Here, it's a fun formula. I'll copy it so you guys can see here. Let's see. So that is how you do RWI. Let's see, Pete asked me a question here. After context filtered, what goes through your mind to fixate on the right now? Oh, God, that's a loaded question, Pete. What goes through my mind to fixate on the right now is the right now. I mean, I literally put on focus music and I stare right here. I mean, I'm watching, is Does an uptick lift the market or not? Is it just trading back and forth? Like right now, we're just trading back and forth. You could, and I'll do this later. I don't want to do it now, but I was showing JVC last night. When the market's doing that, where it's just trading bid ask, you can just get on one side or the other. And it's really easy to get a tick over and over again because the market's not going anywhere. And so you have no risk. And God, I showed JVC a couple of those yesterday. We were looking at my trade copier. And then after that, I posted. I must have done like 10 or 20 of them in a row and just bing, 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 just, $25, $25. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Let's see. New messages. Way too smart for you, Jeff says. Yeah, again, that's why, this isn't any sort of edge. It was a great edge a while ago. But this RWI stuff, but now it's just a filter. That's all. Oh yeah, we may, if for the closing session, I doubt we'll have time this morning because it won't quiet down enough. But for the closing session today, I will start, on time or early. And I promise you, JVC, please remind me, we'll do some of that. We'll do some of those one ticks. And, you can scale into them too. If you're getting filled on the right side, you can just keep hitting it and then immediately be taking ticks on the other side. And again, I posted the P&L of me doing that last night with JVC and the day before. I got it running actually. So check those out. Just if you have a definable edge, particularly if you can scalp, because that just makes it so much easier with the evals because you don't have to worry about trailing drawdown or any of that crap. And it adds up so fast. I mean, yesterday I put $1,000 up in one eval, just doing that. Just doing $12, $20. There was one that was a little bigger. One was like $100. And so anyway, it's a good technique. So, what time is it? We got about 8 minutes. Remember, we are in the midst of rollover. Volume is thin. All indicators break during rollover because the premise of them doesn't work. This is critical, and that includes order flow. Understand. Everybody listen really, really carefully, including JVC, because I know you forget sometimes. In rollover, structure's meaningless because there's two of them. You can't say, well, this is happening at a certain price. There's UB, or because there's UB in one contract, but that could be exactly the opposite in the other contract right now. And they could be in the process of hedging from one to the other or shifting a position. So be very careful interpreting structure during the first day or two of rollover. So, if we roll on Thursday, Friday, and Monday, by Monday, it's over Monday night. But today, particularly, and this is one of the reasons I really want to trade the close. I think it'll be a dynamite close. So anyway, but just really understand this. Structure is a really good, again, it's context, what's the auction look like? But there's two auctions. And if you don't put them together, you're only getting half the picture. So that's critical. Oh yeah, deltas and volumes get very screwed up, particularly deltas. Delta can get really whacked because you're only seeing the delta of one contract. And, what if that big, massive delta is just some, large hedge fund or large equity fund, moving its hedge from December to January? That could be literally all that's happening. And you're looking, oh, look at that absorption. I've seen people make massive mistakes on that. In fact, last rollover in September, I watched one of our members do that. No, Jeff, this is you're wrong. This is it. This is okay. And then at the end of the day, I got a private message. Oh, did I screw that up? I was like, I know, but you learn over time. This is a relatively new person that just hadn't been through a lot of rollovers and, understood conceptually what I was saying, but didn't take it to heart. So there's a message. There's an important message there. Any consistency on when other time frame traders roll? Great question, Jeb. And the answer is absolutely not. They try to do it as unobtrusively as possible. So even if there was a way to measure it, then they would change it because they don't want you to really know how they're doing it. It used to be a lot more complicated before, fancy order flow computers. And, now the computers can solve the problem pretty quickly with that, with decent arbitrage. So, but that's an excellent question. That shows you understand the problem. Alrighty, we are 5 minutes out. You just saw my size reminder. Um, I'm in the process of scaling up. In other words, I'm increasing the size that I trade with. I'm trading more and more contracts, the same strategies and tactics, the same targets. I'm not looking to get bigger winners. I'm just increasing size. And since I'm copying, I'm actually, logarithmic. Can't say that without coffee. You know what I mean? Increasing in size. Um, so the problem with, when you scale up is if you make a mistake, it's exponentially bigger. So you just have to be really, really precise. So that's what that last little reminder you just saw on my screen was. A little acronym I developed with one of my old coaching students, Mr. The idea of more intensely trading with larger size for shorter periods. Just get in there. If there's a good opportunity, don't nibble into it. Get in there with a 10 lot. Put $1,000 up and get the heck back out. That's you have to think that way when you scale, because you can really get crushed when you're off sides if you're scaled up. And I've experienced that. So this latest version of scaling up, I have a plan. I'm not going to stick to this yet, but you guys that have been around since the Motley Crew in the workshop in 2019 have been hearing me threaten to put up a live traded $1 million a year. I'm once again thinking about doing that in 2022. And to do $1 million a year, you roughly have to average $10,000 a day per normal quantity of trading days. So, imagine what that's like. And it's doable with about a 10 lot, 15 lot, if the action's good. Shouldn't need more than that. Anyway, ever since Don, whatever his name is, wrote the book about the $1 Million Trader, which is a great book, by the way, about futures trading. Don, what's his last name? I never remember Don's last name. And the book is here somewhere, but I can't find it. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Don Miller, thank you, Robert. You always have those answers quickly. You've obviously done your homework. Anyway, we're going to open here in 3 minutes. Yeah, the only thing I have never done in trading, I always wanted to do what he did, which is, have $1 million a year and do it, publicly. This is the book we're talking about right here. Chronicles of $1 Million Trader. And he literally blogged the whole thing. It's really cool. And, his mistakes. And one of the techniques that I adopted came from Don. It's the emergency extended scalp method. When I have a loser, I go into scalp mode. Just pick up $12 at a time. Pick up one lot until you are back. Let's see. I was invited to a group and the guy did $1 million profit in one day, twice in the week that you sat in. Interesting. Was it Don Miller, Amy, or someone else? Because that's a pretty crazy. There's very few people can trade at that level. Was it in sim or was he really trading real money too? That's another question. Because the emotion,
futures or stocks, etc.
Yeah, it was insane real money in futures, or because stocks that could just be a big portfolio and no gains at all. It was options. Oh, okay, that's different. Yeah, options, that's totally different. Yeah. Ask John Carter. Yeah. You know what? I liked John Carter a few years ago. He's become a parody of himself. John Carter just totally sold out for the money. It's too bad because he's a good guy, but he just, he got into the whole, well, I can make a couple $100 million selling shit, after his book was successful. Before the book, he was really a humble, good guy, and he just became a complete idiot. So I have totally lost respect for him. Interesting, Amy. Interesting. Okay, so we're about to open here. So fasten your seat belts. Please stow your tray tables in the upright and locked position. And let's get ready to go here. Again, my default for this open is to do nothing. I've got some profits on the book already from earlier in the morning. And we added a couple of dollars to it with the micros, but nothing significant. I think there'll be a really good opportunity today, but I don't want to stake a position out. I'm not going to lean much on structure. I'm going to, really pay attention to price action. So let's focus on the price action here. And at the moment, we might get our push up to short. Let's see if we do. The high volume node is still in play here. You can see I don't reset these this way. That way I can see the overnight volume. You can do that either way. Boy, this looks like an interesting spot to short right here, maybe. Let's see if we can catch some ticks. Okay, we got those. We got 2 on 1, 2 on 2. Excuse me. Still like it short, but I'm not going to chase it down. I want to be short on the pops up. I don't want it to be caught because this could sweep up. There could be a short squeeze. Amy could be absolutely right. Yeah, no, but the tape is heavy. Every time it gets bought, it gets sold. So this is a short. You just got to get a good entry here. I'm going to try to join this. See if we can bounce. Yeah, come on, come get me. Let's see. That's a sweet spot right there. Nope. Yeah, I don't want to chase this. Now we're at the bottom of the range. So, and now it's building a little bulge here, but it's definitely a short. There's no question about that. It's a short, definitely. It's a short. It's my Rain Man. It's a short. I'd love to join it short here, but I just don't want to get caught in a squeeze. It's too early for that. It could come anytime like that. That's experience right there. Just saying, yeah, it's going down, but it's going to get squeezed. They're going to puke it. Okay, now maybe we can get a fill up here where we want to get filled. Let's see. Okay, cool. We got it. Let's see if we can catch. Boom. Wow. That was fast. That was 3 ticks on that one that I got. And it filled so fast you probably couldn't see it. But you can see my fill confirmations popping up there. Wow, that was really sweet. And that's in the trade copier. So that was a quick $100. Let's do it again if we can get back up here. I definitely like shorting this, but the sweeps are really dangerous, guys. Be really careful. It's sweepy, not good. Sweeps in the direction you're trading, good. Sweeps both ways, not good. Sweeps the directions you're against your trading, bad. Also look at the flip here. You know, it's going blue and red back and forth. You know, remember red is when the book is getting pulled and unstacked and going down, and use whatever terminology you want on that. Orders getting pulled, net will make that red. Orders getting added, net, make that blue. And the idea is, you know, what's going on in the order book. So that's a useful filter also. But again, it's a filter for me when I'm in a trade. You know, if I'm in a short, I want to see that red or going red, or I know I'm off sides. It's like right now, this is a spot that you know, it's really volatile, but short right around 92.5 is very interesting. But I think we could get a short squeeze and maybe get an entry up there. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. A push up that holds the top of the high volume node is a low risk entry. And you can see Mr. Liquidity's over there. There's some stuff in the book there. Anybody have MBO? Is there stuff at 95? I'm very curious. I bet there is a little bit there. If there is, stick it in the chat, please. Are the context filters on TOS active during the overnight or only 150? Thank you, Jeff. Well, it depends on what they are. Like internals only work when the market is open, when the New York is open. So it depends on which filter you're talking about. The trend filter that I use is 24 hours because I'm watching the continuous contract of the futures. So again, it depends. Okay, this is the kind of buying I want to see, but it's not getting over 92.5. So, you know, it should puke 92.5 here, and then we might get a fill up here. But 92.5 is definitely the sweet spot to short. It's just, I'm expecting a puke here. I think they're going to catch some people off sides, and I'll get a fill up here maybe if I get lucky. Come on, come get me. I might be a crack too high. Maybe like there is better where all this volume is. See, you can see 92.5 is totally in play there. You know, just watch how it's trading around it. You know, watch the LTQ, the lift, down, lift, bid gets slammed, lift, bid gets slammed. This is going to go up. So hopefully we'll catch a fill up there and we can scalp a couple of ticks really fast. Whoa, what did I just punch? Didn't want to do that. Oh, I love this action. This is my favorite kind of action. Okay, there's the puke of 92.5. Can we get a fill? Come on to daddy. Oh, I'm in the right spot. Cool. Oh man, love it. Nice. Okay, that was a 4 ticker in it didn't measure. The trade had a trade duration of 0, an MAE of 0. So, and again, I could have held one there, but in this action, I don't want to do that. So with the trade copier, we're up a couple $100 here, guys, just with these little one lot, picking off 3 or 4 ticks, 2 ticks at a time. I don't want to play down here. I mean, it could just drop and I would love to be short that, but the place to be playing is up here or up here. You can't get offsides here or you will get crushed. You'll get squeezed. You don't want to be the guy that gets squeezed in the short squeeze. You want to be the guy exiting the short squeeze, like what I just did. When they puke, take the trade, grab a few ticks, and you saw that worked so fast that it didn't even measure that the trade had a duration. And I love that. Top Step would say that's an illegal trade. Okay, we're about to get filled again. Oh, it tapped me and it did not fill. I hate that. Okay, fill me. Come on, baby. Okay, we'll put a buy order there. Oh, another $100 instantly. Loving this action. $100 bill, boom. $100 bill, boom. This is fun. Okay, now we'll see if we can get the next guy up since looks like they're going to puke 92.5 one more time. Last time I was a little too high up, and I am again, but I'm just being conservative here. Take a fill right there, maybe. Come on, come to daddy. Come on. Here, boy, come on. Oh, come on. I've got a treat for you up here at 94.5. Do you give your cats treats, JVC?
Oh, of course.
Do you have those greenie treats? Have you ever had those? They're like crack.
We have many times, yes. I don't think we have them right this moment, but many times, yes. They go totally batshit for them.
Oh, I know. I mean, when they come in the Amazon box, it's like as soon as they see the container, it's like they start flipping around and chasing their tails. And
we have to hide those pouches immediately when they arrive, or they.
Oh yeah, and anything you open that sounds like a pouch, any food item that's in it, they immediately come running. Is that my treat? Is that my treat?
Yep.
I don't know what is in those things.
Our pantry has been redesignated the treat room.
Yes, exactly. All right. You know what? This is getting a little crazier here. And even if I got filled up there now, I'm not sure that's a great idea because NQ is starting to stabilize. This might not be a great entry now. So I'm going to reset my brain here now that we have the open 5 is over. We made some money in the open 5. It was pretty. And now, we're in ebb and flow I mean, look at the wicks on both sides. It's kind of a price discovery kind of behavior. So I'm just not gonna stake it out quite as authoritatively as I did before because the next thing to see is what B period looks like. So let's just see if we can handicap the AB trade now, or the B to A trade, I should say. Let's see. Looks like it's up. High is not high enough. And we've got a price rejector at the bottom. So this is a long. Again, you can't manage risk with it being this sweepy though. So, but a push up that we can sell would be beautiful. And where would that be, boys and girls? That would be, God, if it took out the overnight high at 99, that would be a perfect place. That looks like a potential setup. Look at that there. So buyers are in control. We're above the max deltas. But again, sweeps are dangerous here. So, let it come to you if you're going to do this. Would you trade this long? Somebody asked me. Yeah, probably not. I mean, the sweeps are the reason why not. It's not that it just cleaned that up, didn't it? It's not that it's not a particularly, and again, remember, structure is not all that reliable on rollover. So this is the kind of thing I'm going to rely on my price action read much more than anything else. There's another zero print up there. So yeah, there's stops getting hit. And, it's just crazy stuff. Okay, here comes our short squeeze right now. NQ is about to break the highs. This is going to be the trade of the day right here. We need to get an entry. That would be the first place that I like. Let's see if we can get a fill up there. That's a quarter, double zero quarter. And I have a decent place in line there. Boy, the book is changing so fast. It's going back and forth from stacking and pulling and yada, yada, yada. This is just crazy action. Okay, there's my reminder to look at the structure, which I'm not going to do today. Boy, if this pops on a short squeeze and we get a fill, this could be a fun little short up here. This could be worth 3 or 4 points. 20, 30 ticks here. So let's see if we can get it. It's building a thin zone here. We have some weak highs right above us. There's a 4,700 weak high on the TPO view. So weak poor high. Ooh, look at the sweeps though. Mostly down sweeps, except in NQ. NQ is sweeping both ways. So avoid NQ, folks. Way too volatile to trade right now. Just look at this. It's too thin and too volatile. I wouldn't touch that. But later on, that could be fun too. But right now, the place to play is ES. It's giving you good payout for taking risks at intelligent places. Yes, it is holding the highs. So is the trade copper tool I'm using to trade multiple accounts simultaneously? Yes, that's exactly what it's doing, Pete. I'm trading in 3 accounts at the same time. Let's see. You
leverage on your leveraged leverage.
Yes. You mentioned you use the flip chart while in a trade. When are you looking at the delta bars? And do I look for correlation between the two? No, they're two different things. They wouldn't be correlated. The delta bars are about the lean. So, I'm looking at a really fast view. It's 15 seconds, so I can see which way the market's leaning. That's the purpose of the delta bars. And the range, that's what I'm looking at on these fast charts. I'm looking at the range and the energy of the oscillations in the range. So when it oscillates up and down, how much energy in each direction is there? And does it increase or not at the edges of the range? That's why those are sweet spots, but not necessarily the bottom is a long and the top is a short. It doesn't work that way. Its edges are inflection points. Like right now we're on an edge and you can see it's in play. So that's the answer, Tony. Hopefully that makes sense. This is pretty two-way here. I like the long off of the low of the range, but I still think the setup is a short. So, put all that together and you'll understand it's a little complicated to trade, obviously. Let's see if I have the setting on here. Okay, that's good. Yeah, this is a short, but I'm just not going to stick my head out. It's going to break the low here, I think, or break the low of the range anyway. It's going to break 89, and it just did. So, yep. But there's nibbling buyers down here. Again, this could be rollover. This could be anything. It's just it's not predictable enough when it's at edges like this that I would go either way really aggressively. If I had to pick one, I'd be short here. But boy, you're susceptible to a sweep to 92. That's for sure. So not worth it. We've had much better, places where I could just go in and immediately get ticks. This isn't one of them. Looking at this action, I'm like, I'm not thinking, yeah, let's go grab some ticks. I'm thinking I'm going to get screwed if I try to grab ticks here. That's, and hopefully you see the difference in the two behaviors. This, it clearly is going to go aggressively one way or the other, but it could go either way. Whereas, those ones that I was shorting higher up were clearly, I was either going to get a good fill and immediately be profitable or it wouldn't work. So it's a much easier place to define it. Here, it could work and then unwork really fast. You could get a wiggle and then a crash down, a wiggle, then a sweep up. So yeah, this is just a spot you stay the hell away from. It's just too crazy right here. By the way, that's what inflection points look like. It's building an inflection point right there. You can see it playing out. Up, down, up, down, up, down, down aggression, up aggression, down aggression. Yeah, that is an inflection point in progress. It's being born as we speak right there. See the lift? We just got 120 contract lift, then 150 contract bid. It cannot get a direction and it's aggressive. Look at the size of the LTQ there. It's not 510, it's 100, 150, 200. Okay, now they're trying to push it down and there's liquidity underneath it and the buyers came back in. Look at there's 140 contract lift and there's the seller. This is a perfect example of what an inflection point battle looks like. Real time. And there's the sweep up. That's your danger to be short right there. That will crush you because there's a lot of people seeing this as a short market. And every now and then, just for fun, the market's coming in and puking them. It's classic rollover action, guys. Just Put your head back in your shell and enjoy the show until we get a better setup here. And again, this is short, but it's just way too dangerous to try to play it. If the momentum increases, I will join it. If it gets back up here somewhere, I will try again, fade it again. But in here, I just don't want to be the guy that gets caught in a 10 tick sweep back up to 90. And see, that's playing out. That's the short. Look at this air pocket. It should fly through there, but there's buyers right at the edge of that bulge again, Really, really easy to see what's happening, but hard to necessarily extract money from it. Let's see. I've got some good comments. Okay, I think of a tempo thing. This is Amy's comment. When the tempo is regular trade, yeah, exactly. Because it's irrational. What that means is that new information is entering the market, and until that information is digested, it would be silly to try to play. Let's put the footprint back up though, just so you can see the structure. There's a serious price rejector up there at the highs, but now we're getting a price rejector on the pullback at the lows. So, it's going to be fun. Pick your battles very, very carefully. Okay, Jeff says this is a nice way to think in these conditions. Cool. I'm glad this is educational for you. That's the purpose of it. So somebody asked me what the P&L is right now. On the trades you guys have seen, it is $272 twice. So we're up about $500. Not bad for a half-hour work, right?
Better than a poke in the eye.
Yeah, better than that Target vest.
Target vest?
Yeah, like the red vest that the people at Target wear, or his blue vest, whatever.
Oh, Target the store.
Target,
got it.
Yeah, exactly. Not trade Target. Target the store. Yeah,
that's my
favorite example of
I was picturing a hunter walking through the woods with a bullseye on his back, and I didn't get it.
No, it's the the average sustainability survival job right now is paying on a good day $20, $25, $30 an hour. That's like Target wages, or so if you can beat that without taking any risk, then it beats working in a red vest or a yellow vest. That's my point. I used to, when I was working for Microsoft, I used to do a lot of trainings, and I told you guys this before, and the trainees were retail Microsoft resellers, Best Buy stores, or value-added resellers that sold to corporations or whatever. So we used to have lots of fun doing stuff like this. Ooh, look at that little sweep up. And it's getting lifted. See that? See, you get a lift, and the ask just keeps increasing and lifting the bid. That is exactly what a strong move up looks like. And now, right here, finally some sellers said, okay, we'll come back with the same aggression. You can see it went up into triple digits right there at 85, and on the quarters, of course, which is where it will do that. So, watching that LTQ or the energy of either side of the bid and ask there is a really good way to find, sweet spots in the very, very short term. What's your next area of engagement or crucial IP? Pete. You're predicting the future. The next area will be the next area that the market goes into an IP and starts trading that way. I don't look for, that's the difference between Furu indicators and what we do. We don't look for areas like that. Yes, there's clues in the structure, but today I'm ignoring them. So I'm literally just, as I said at the top of the session, this is only the price action that we care about, nothing else. Where it stops will be where it stops. There's no low, there's no high that I have in mind. And as a scalper, I never do that. I only look for which way to lean. So, if I can predict which direction we're going to go in the next 20 seconds, that's all I care about. And if it happens to be an inflection point toward an inflection point, or I'm leaning on one, to protect me, then that's perfect. That's all I think about with respect to that. I don't say, oh, it'd be really nice if we got down. I don't do that under these conditions, because you're creating artificial things to look at for yourself. And that's the indicator thinking, instead of saying, what's the market doing right now? And let's let it tell the story. Hope that makes sense. area to lean. You said, okay. He said, Pete said, sorry, I meant the area to lean. Again, it will it will reveal itself when it does. Right now, the market is telling me that there was a big aggressive battle at 90. It sold off from that. We had another one around 85. It sold off from that. But again, the potential for big wicked moves either way here is significant. So, if it traded back up to this 85, 87 area and I started seeing the sellers come in again, I might join it. But remember, I'm very religiously sitting on my hands unless I have really asymmetric views. And, when we were up here and I was thinking about shorting and I was shorting, that was pretty asymmetric. It was a really significant spot to lean on. But there's nothing like that down here. You see what I'm saying? So there's just way too much still going on to think of any spot as significant, except the ones that make themselves significant as they happen. Like right here, this could be a short right now at 86, but it's susceptible to a sweep up. I might play this. Okay, now it's 87.5 in place, and now I'm looking to play that again. See, the trouble with these shorts is we keep getting swept up, and that makes a short dangerous. But I do like 87.5 again. Let's see if we can catch a fill there.
Well, and notice where you are in the volume profile.
Exactly. Right edge. It's the edge, and it's right at the bottom of this bulge again. So a sweep up that fills me right here should be a good place to grab some ticks. Should be able to at least get a couple here. Let's see. Okay, so we'll see if we can get two there. That's how it's done. Okay, you wait, and that's how I'm staking out spots, Pete. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, you're just gonna have to watch it over and over again because I'm not looking in advance. I'm using all of the same things, the quarters and where the volume picks up, the LTQ, and I'm leaning on the high volume node. Like that was the bottom of this high volume node. That just couldn't have been a better spot to stake out a $50 bill there that we just picked up. So hopefully that made some sense to you per your question. Again, I'm trying to answer questions to the extent that I can, but it's not a class. So if anybody gets too questiony, I will tell you, and I won't get mad. I'll just say, no, we don't have time to talk about that.
Well, and this is actually exactly why we want people to review these recordings after the fact, jot down your questions with a timestamp and bring them to the Q&A session. Perfect.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is a perfect example, Pete, and everybody that's been asking questions in any of my live sessions, none of you have ever taken the recording, really looked at it, put together some really solid questions, posted them, and we're making ourselves available. You have Lee and JVC and myself. So, you have at least $400 or $500 an hour of free consulting we're giving you, and nobody's using it. And I just don't get that because, the questions come up real time, but nobody's doing their homework, ripping the videos apart. And, at this point in this price, you did this. Can you go, that's what you really should be doing if you really want to develop the skill. This is a learned skill. There's no magic. There's no secret spots. There's no, the tool lights up the right color at the right place. It's just a learned skill. It's pattern recognition synthesis. That is all we are doing. And we are now up $347. Somebody asked me what that was, what the P&L was.
And that's times 2, right?
Yeah, double that. That's just, yeah.
Yep.
This trade copter stuff is pretty fun.
Isn't it?
Gotta say, yeah.
Of course, it cuts both ways, right? If you have no freaking idea what you're doing and no discipline, no risk management, you're going to
screwed.
Double and triple and quadruple as fast.
Yeah, you're totally screwed. But boy, if you manage risk, and you're seeing me really, really manage risk tight, which is the way you need to do it. I mean, fortunately, I've been right on all of these, or most of them anyway. You saw me, I hit the flat button on one of the ones that we did in pre-market, and that's why I was using micros there, because the action wasn't as predictable. But we're going to ultimately fill this entire low volume node, but we're going to do it like this with this back and forth action. So it's not possible to just stay short. And that's because we're in rollover. And so this is a really good time, Jeff, talking to myself. This is a really good time to take a break. Let's, we've got 6 minutes until the B period. And, there's going to be opportunity all day today. But, staking out any one spot or developing a bias is the danger of the opportunity. These sweeps, look at that. That was just a 7-tick sweep in an instant off of an inflection point that, was a quarter. It didn't make it to the next quarter. It just swept both ways. Now it just did the same thing, 8 ticks the other direction. Don't just, this is like, if you're a, surfer and you're at one of the big wave spots, you're at Mavericks or whatever, and, and you're sitting on the beach, getting ready to get towed out, and you're just watching one guy after another just get crushed and wiped out, and boards getting broken in half, and guys are coming out on backboards, and, hey, maybe I'll just stay on the sideline. Maybe I'll stay on the beach and look at the girls for another hour and go in when it settles down. That's what you have to think that way. As great as the action might be, people are getting their backs broken in this. It's definitely a short, but look at the bounces. It's doing wicked bounces, and I'm, in my belief, and from my point of view, that's rollover that's doing that. It's people are taking those opportunities to roll or to. Yep. There's a lot of arbitrage goes on too during rollover. A lot of sophisticated hedge funds will scalp both ways, and they'll trade the spread between the two contracts, and there's all kinds of nonsense going on. Okay, so look at RTY is making new lows. That's notable. And YM is in the middle of its range. NQ is in the middle of its range. So is ES, but RTY is leading down. That is notable. It's not a huge percent, but it's a third. It's exactly the opposite of everybody else that's up a third. So RTY likes to lead, so we could be going down here. Let's see how the internals look now that they're going to be useful. All right, up volume, down volume. It's too early for that one. Okay, we opened with a decent advanced decline at 1600, and we're falling rapidly. And the tick is actually going up. That's interesting. So there's a little bit of strength at the low here, at least in the stocks. So that's how you look at that. And then if you want to see what that trend indicator looks like now. So that's ES. You can see the gap here. We are filling the gap nicely. The half gap is actually right. We just touched the half gap, which was right there. So, and you can see we are now almost in a downtrend. It's pretty much nothing. The way this works is, the green is uptrend, red is downtrend, and anything above 0 is significant. So right now, RTY you can see is 1.5. So that's a significant downtrend, and the rest of them have no trend in the indexes. And then oil has a downtrend. It's filling its gap also, and gold's filling a gap but has no trend. So anyway, I used to trade off this, a long time ago when we didn't have order flow. This was the stuff I used in the mid 2000s. It's good stuff. It's great for context, but there's better information to trade off of now. In other words, order flow. But that's really good stuff to get a sense of what's going on underneath the covers. All right. So anyway, like I started to say a minute ago, we have B period coming up in a couple of minutes. Let's wait and see what the rotation looks like. I think that could be informative. So, right now, that's where we are. We're trading, at the bottom of this A session or A segment, A period. And the pullback has a little bit of a possible price rejector. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the B to A is probably going to continue down. But, it could move back into this range. It's trying to. You can see down there. So wish friggin' Sierra chart would get their act together. You got to crunch this together because it won't center in the right damn place. And there's just no way to fix that. I don't understand what they're thinking with that. There's no logical reason to do it that way. It just makes no sense. Oh, well. All right, I'm going to take a break, refill the coffee, run my stairs a few times, and we'll see how B gets going. In fact, here, we'll wait a second and let it open since it's already about to. And then I'll go get my coffee. Did you understand what I said there, Pete, when I just showed that example of the lean? Did you get all that about the volume and all? Really, go watch the recording and really write down a bunch of questions. I'd like to hear them for Q&A next week. It would be really helpful for you and us. Okay, here comes B period. Okay, here we go. And there's going up. That's interesting. So we'll probably go back to at least the middle then. And, where is the middle here? Well, that's the problem. It's kind of a sloppy area. Yeah, it's kind of ebbing and flowing there in a little bit of price discovery. There's a little bit of a push up. Okay, this could set up another short here. Not here though. I want to be short like up there where I can really lean on that high volume node. Down here, it's just like, it's no man's land. Could go up, could go down. Remember, what do I do? My entire approach to the market is this question: which way are we going, and with how much energy right now, comma, and how is it changing? That's what I do well. Right now we're going up. It's not strong enough to join. If it gets up to an area that I'm interested in and I start seeing some two-way trading, I will fade it. 87.5 would have been a perfect place to do that right there, because now we're back down at the 85 quarter. There's the quarters. And God, that just, people that don't see the quarters and how that trades, between 0, 0, 2.5, 5, 7.5, ES does that all the time. And, you're not imagining it. Pit traders have been trading that behavior since the index started. And on electronic, it's even easier because they're not inflection points. They're just, when it's ranging, that's the range. And, so if you're, long at 82.5 and it gets down to 82 and it starts, you're wrong, and it's probably going to go to 80. And, you can really use them as good filters for your entries. I do it all the time. And particularly for one tick drills, it's perfect for that, because the odds are just so high, you can at least get a tick or two. And you've seen me do this over and over again here. We just did a bunch of them here this morning and in other sessions as well. Again, this afternoon, I think it'll be a little quieter, and I'll try to show some of those scaled up one tick drills, and how you can just keep slamming into the bid or the ask and taking the profit on the other side of it if you're nimble. Anyway. All right, so we've got B period here, and it's kind of consolidating in this range down here at the low. You can see all my 15-second views are doing the same thing. It's a back and forth ebb and flow in a range, and it's sloppy. There's sweeps both ways. So this is SOH, sit on one's hands type of behavior. I'm going to go get a fresh beverage and run my stairs a few times, burn up some energy. So I will be back, but it might be a couple of minutes. Let's see. Normally Fridays, what do I do here, JVC? We just normally end in a half an hour, right?
Yep.
Well, we started early, so unless this B period gets really exciting, we might just end early. I reserve the right to do that. So anyway, I'm going to go get a coffee. I'll be back in a few. If there's any other questions or comments, guys, this is a golden opportunity. You have my undivided attention. So there's a bunch of you in here that should be asking me all kinds of things, I think. Either that or you're just furiously taking notes, and that's okay too. But this is just such good action. And, it's hard to argue with, I'm not resulting. What I'm saying is that this process clearly works, because it's just, we're just putting up, day after day of profits with, look at that. I'm not posting the P&Ls that I've been posting about being in the zone to tell you how cool I am. And I'm actually in a funk and I feel like shit. But if you have a learned skill, you can do this. So I'm showing you guys that no matter what's going on in your life, you can build above a process that you can just use the computer as an ATM. This is it. It's one of them anyway. So that's the message that you're getting from me. Please understand that. Anyway, let's see. Are we going to have a closing session? Yes, we are, Pete. And there's several messages posted. I believe we already posted that. Didn't we, JVC, post that we were doing one? Yes, we did. Yeah, it's up and we are having it, yes. And we're going to take some of them off the calendar. I'm only going to have them actually scheduled a couple of days a week going forward. And then I'm just, on a good day, I'm just going to announce, okay, we'll have one today, bonus, but I'm going to have 2 or 3 a week on the calendar going forward. Like we'll always do Fridays. And I think we're going to do Tuesdays. But yes, there is one today. So that's a cool question. Okay, let's see. But. Any way to determine arbitrage using old and new contracts? Not for you, Jeb. I say that with love. Not for you and not for me. A hedge fund with a couple of MIT math PhDs and a Cray supercomputer to build the model. Yeah, there's ways to do it. That's what they do.
And
I
a
have a
ton of money.
friend in I have a friend in New York State, Long Island. He runs a hedge fund. It's sometimes in the news, so you may have heard of it, but I'm not going to name it. And the only thing that they do, get this, Deb, their entire model, he has $100 million of investor money, and all he does is fade traditional technical indicators. So, where the S1 would be, or the R1, or the pivot, name an indicator. They coded up a couple of hundred of the most popular, MACD, and all they do is they have an algorithm that fades them. And it's ridiculously profitable hedge fund. I mean, we're talking like 25% a year. The guy's just printing money. And so that's one example of just a simple type of arbitrage that a really skilled shop can do. And yeah, with rollover, there's all kinds of models, because you can also play it against the equities themselves. That's the beauty of it, And what you're doing is you're kind of taking money or piggybacking the movement of the mutual funds, which they use portfolio insurance. They actually buy insurance against their portfolios using various options and futures. And so, the rollover for them is just moving from one insurance policy to the other. And there's all kinds of cool math and cool algos that game that and arbitrage it. But again, it's way too sophisticated for us. And the other thing is, if you're going to do stuff like that, you have to have a direct connection to the CME. I mean, you need to be in Chicago, and your computers are, a millisecond or 2 or 3 away, because, that's what you're doing. You're taking advantage of very short-term imbalances. That's what arbitrage is. So, you have to have the fastest computers, the smartest guys, the most money, and the least latency. I hope that answered your question. Yeah, the Forex is where retail traders go to lose money, Pete. It's the only professionals in foreign exchange are in currency futures. The Forex market, the pairs, is the only people that play there are stupid retail traders. It's a complete casino. You have the information's horrible, and there's absolutely no reason to trade FX. Futures, currencies, different ball game. There's some legitimate trades there, and I do trade them. I trade the euro dollar, and I trade the British, the sterling dollar, and I love those. But FX, forget it. Currency pairs, forget it. It's pure
the professionals
casino.
in spot Forex are the brokers who are trading against you.
Oh, exactly. And the other professionals in Forex, spot Forex, are the sovereign wealth funds, for the currency. The people that are actually running that currency, because that's the purpose of the Forex markets for them. So you guys are just cannon fodder if you're trading there. I mean, I see people talking about it all the time on Twitter, and I just I don't get why you wouldn't go to a more transparent market. Why would you stay there and play that game? And it's a good example of how the vast majority of retail traders are not trading to make money. They may think they are, but they're really just trading. It's entertainment. It's a casino, and they're having fun, and they don't know that because they don't understand what an edge is and all those things. So good questions, good comments. Let's see. Okay. Well, I never did go get my coffee here on top of the hour, did I? All right, let's. This is settling down a bit. We may be able to scalp this now. The sweeps are dying down, so I'm going to go get a fresh Joe, and we might be able to do some scaled up scalping, which would be really fun, wouldn't it? So I'll be back. I'm going to put my headset down. JVC, you have the floor. Oh, right when I said that, we had this wicked. Look at that. Let's see. That's 53, 60. That was a 30, 1 to 10. That was a 46 tick bidirectional sweep in NQ. Boy, you could have just gotten bent over a barrel with that one if you were in that. Either way, I mean, particularly if you were short, that really would have caught you because most of it was in the upside. Okay, that's a change. That's new information. Something's going on. Did we get top now? Top of the hour was already Michigan consumer expectations, and nothing new there. That's already out. Anderson, that's Elderson's speech is over. There's nothing going on, so this isn't news. All right, I'm going to go get some more coffee, and then I'm going to come back and see if we can scalp, because this will be really fun if we can do some scalping. If it had quieted down, then we had a burst of volatility, and now it's quieting down again. So if we can get a nice short, tight range, I'll see if I can do some scale up one tick drills. Yeah, if that's happening, I can't. Obviously, that was 82.75 to 80. 6. So that was almost a 4-point or 16 tick bidirectional sweep down we just had. It swept down, up, and now it's halfway. So yeah, just still too dangerous to trade, particularly with the copier running, because that could cost me some money quickly. All right, I am going to go get my coffee now. JVC, you have the floor.
I really do. I know I said it before. I'll just say it again while I got some time here. Is I really strongly recommend that you guys go watch the recordings of these, after it's posted, and you make a note right now of what clock time it is. Look at Jeff's screen, look at his clock, and note the clock time of the thing, when it happens, whatever the thing you want to talk about, thing you want to ask questions about, whatever. And then go back in the recording, find that clock time, rewatch it a few times, and see if just rewatching it a few times clears up what you were wanting to ask. If it doesn't, or if it adds more to it, then formulate your question, write it out, take as much time as you need to, post it in the pit, and specifically, include the timestamp and say, at this time, and sorry, in that case, include the timestamp of the video, not the clock time. The clock time is just so that you can correlate what's happening right now in your real-time world with the video in the moment and find it later. But then put the timestamp of the video in your post. That way, during the Q&A session, we can literally call up the video and go to that timestamp and look at what you're talking about and say, oh, yeah, I remember that now. That's because notice this and look at that, and et cetera, et cetera. And we can hear ourselves speak and say what we did, and et cetera. And that will be immensely valuable, rather than just trying to remember stuff or you scrambling to try to ask a question right now in the heat of the moment, which is very difficult to do. And I totally realize that that's not always easy. So really recommend you take advantage of the fact that these are recorded so that you can ask better questions and get all the answers you're looking for. Tom, I see your message. Yes, I did. I traded the oil A to overnight. I got 11 ticks. It was a very clear push to the high. I got out right at the overnight high, and that was it. I was done. I haven't done anything else since because I am working on my trade copier and am just neck deep in that. Plus with rollover, I just, forget it. I'm just not gonna bother. I'd rather do other things.
Yeah, I'm going to second that emotion, and we're going to end this session. I want to do some scalping, but it's still sweeping. So what I might do is open up early. The last hour gets a little busier, but like a half an hour before that, 11:30 sometimes is great. Yeah, these sweeps are way too big. Is great scalping. So that's, I think, what the plan is going to be. I'm definitely, I sent another alert out. I'm definitely going to trade the close. And we might trade the close early so we can do some one-tick drills. So watch for an announcement that the room opened early if I do that. And other than that, let's go ahead and do Burning Desires once on this puppy. Any final questions, comments? By what JVC was just saying, by all means, we just continue to be disappointed that people don't take advantage of Q&A. And at least $200 an hour, and so am I. And not patting ourselves on the back. I just had a guy here that I was coaching one-on-one, paying well to be here and learn. And, this is the exact same thing. You're getting us one-on-one and it's free. Take advantage of this. Whenever we have good questions, there's always a great session. And it just always, God, if I was one of you and I was trying to develop my Bubba or my Edge, I would have a book of questions. I would be the most annoying guy on Q&A, man. There would be 30 of them up there. And I would, pick the brains of the subject matter experts. That is your mission, students, Padawan learners. Okay, with that, we will wrap it up, I think. JVC, any final comments?
Nothing else from me. Good stuff, guys. Be careful today if you are trading, because rollover. So
yeah, I'm SOH until the beginning of the close, and I've already got a really nice profit, and I think we could get some good scalping. So let's see, show up. We'll see if we can make some more money, but absolutely agree with that. I mean, just look at watch the DOMs here. Every time there's a good idea, you could potentially just like being short. Look at that. You just would have been swept by 7 ticks. That's just, you can't manage risk. There's no logical place to put a stop or to exit an idea. It's just moving around. and a little bit quieter, and it would be good for scalping ticks, but it's not. It's too sweepy. Too sweepy. All right, really good session. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Andrew. Some of my comments are actually directed at you. I saw your Bubba post, and I really want to help you get a Bubba. So, and don't forget, we have an IOU, me to you. So when we get started with ETF, let's talk about doing that. I'd really like to get you on your Bubba. I know you're close, and I get what that feels like. So, all right, everybody. That'll be it. We will see you at the close. Watch for an announcement of the room opening early. Otherwise, it will open at 12, but probably 11:30 is what I'm thinking. So thank you, Todd.
See you
Appreciate
there.
it. Thank you, JVC. We'll see you guys later. Bye.